So recently, we saw the release of yet another episode of Miraculous Season 5, this time with the episode Derision. Now, before that, we saw the release of the episode Migration, which was received pretty poorly by most of the fandom. The episode itself, it was quite boring, and it ended up killing one of the cooler underlying plot developments from Season 4, Luca knowing about the hero identities. And not only did it do that, but it killed the plot point before it really had a chance to be majorly relevant at all. Why have a character learn these things when he doesn't get to use the knowledge? And so, the story's looking pretty weak, and I think they really needed a win with this episode. People are getting tired of the writing. They're actually quitting the show. Can't blame them. At this point, I kind of just hope the film blows up really big and they move over to that sort of thing instead. Either that or just write better, please. Anyway, this episode, I actually thought it was quite good and quite unique. It added some depth to Marinette's character and sort of explained her whole stalker vibe a lot better. It fleshed out her relationship with Sokoline, and it showed how much of a Chad that Adrian is. Also, it really just doubled down on the whole Chloe being the worst person ever storyline. Also, makes Kim look like the worst person ever too, and the dumbest. The episode acts like it's all well and good at the end, but my god, I hate this dude now. How he has any friends at all is beyond me. And so yeah, time to jump into things. So we start off the episode, surprise surprise, in Marinette's room, where she fields a call from Adrian, who jokingly teases her about being her alarm clock so she doesn't oversleep for their planned date at the pool. Typical cutesy teenager stuff. And then she straight up hangs up the phone on him. No goodbye, no see you soon, just, haha, good one Adrian, beep. What? Anyway, she then starts, having a mental health episode. Is this anxiety? Is it PTSD? Who can really say? But it's something. And it'll form the crux of our episode today. Tiki asks if anything's wrong, Marinette says it's all good, and yet it is not all good. She's still stressed at breakfast and knocks over her bowl of milk, and I say bowl of milk because that's what it is. There are like 20 cornflakes max in that thing, which means either she puts 3 spoons of cereal in a bowl and douses it with a litre of milk, or somehow she manages to pick out the cereal as she eats and then squeezes them out to put the milk back in the bowl before eating it. That's really the only way to explain this truly ridiculous ratio. Hey Marinette, you want some cereal with that milk? Anyway, she heads down to the pool and meets Adrian, and as they enter she sees a picture of Kim, which gets her having another flashback and panicking in the locker room. And then when she comes down to the pool, she freaks out, she gets angry at Adrian and tells him to stop being so nice to her, and she runs away. Which in turn makes Kim laugh, because he's an asshole, as he begins to explain why she's acting like that, treating it like a big joke, whilst Marinette gets akumatized in the changing rooms. And yeah, I feel like this is another one of those instances where surely Gabe, knowing now what we know, that he can delve deeper like he did with Luca, he should be able to sense that there's some deeper knowledge here, that she really wouldn't want to be akumatized because she's Ladybug. Also, side note, didn't mention it last time, but also surely Gabe could have just used the horse to portal around chasing Luca forever to get the information, right? I mean, the kid has an alliance ring, so he can track him. That plot point is so sloppily written, it's absurd. Anyway, she's in the midst of getting akumatized and Kim is telling his story, which takes us into a flashback sequence where Marinette looks slightly different, her hairstyle differently, and her pants are blue. And her classmates also look vaguely different. And this time she's crushing on Kim. And you know what? On appearance alone, fair enough. Look at that guy, built like a stallion. And he's only 14 here. Jeez. Anyway, here the bullying from Chloe seems way more severe than it ever was in season 1, with Marinette being so much more of a punching bag. During the course of the show, she's always been a bit bigger, more fiery, standing up for herself more. So this was weird to see. Feels like they really want to hammer home that Chloe is an irredeemable bully, because, yeah, Marinette might have been a bit of a mouse in the Origins episode, but nothing like this. Regardless, she gets frightened by cockroaches that were put in her locker, and for some reason she doesn't seem to have a lock on that thing. And then she slips on water left on the floor in the bathroom, and then, I don't know, was she knocked out for 10 minutes? Because when she goes in, classes hadn't started. But then she gets there, she opens the locker, she sees the bugs, she runs and falls, and then next thing, class has been on for 10 minutes? Damn. Also, how dumb's the principal? If this kid is chronically late, why does he always just yell at her instead of calling her parents and getting this dealt with? And on top of that, if her parents have seen that she's been bullied like this for years, change schools. What the hell's going on with these people? Support your kid. She's being severely bullied. Ugh. Anyway, she arrives at class and Chloe's put paint on her chair, and what do you know? Despite Chloe being a known, there's no other way to phrase this other than a known bitch, the teacher sides with her and sends Marinette back to the principal's office. And then Chloe openly taunts Rose, threatening her with the same treatment, whilst also mocking Julika. And the teacher just jack shit. These clowns need to be fired. Anyway, we then cut away and we learn that Marinette has 3 hours of Saturday detention, which, Yeah, ouch. Parents, intervene. Anyway, Rose for some reason decides to try to get Marinette to see the other side of things and understand that Chloe's being so terrible because her mum abandoned her when she was young. And yeah, I still don't really understand this whole thing. So she gave birth to Chloe, she ditched the family, had a new kid, but stayed married to Andre and then randomly reconciled? Ugh. Anyway, Rose acts like a bit of a dipshit, and Mylène slaps her down and says that her mum left too, but she doesn't bully Marinette, which, honestly, straight facts. But it also very much feels like Asterix speaking through the characters once again to try and convince everybody that Chloe sucks and deserved no redemption arc. And then they all cower and flee when Chloe arrives, so yeah, not exactly best friends after all. And this is why Alia is such a beast, because she always stands up for her. Get an Alia in your life, Marinette. Anyway, before Chloe turns up, they all talk about how her blue pants are ruined, hence the new pink pants that she currently wears. And then Kim comes over, and he tells her that she can wear his swim trunks, which is like, sure mate. You think she wants to wear your swimwear? Built for a man that has been on your ass. What the hell? This is just ridiculous. Dude's a buffoon. Chloe then straight up tells Marinette that she's going to ruin her life before Sokoline arrives and almost kicks her head off and chases her away. Hell yeah, some justice. And then she tells Marinette that she needs to start standing up for herself. After all, Sokoline's about to graduate, and she won't be there to protect her from Chloe after that. They then talk about how Marinette has a crush on Kim, with Sokoline being a bit disappointed, and I mean, I get why. Dude's a bit of a doofus, and he also seems like a bit of a prick, if we're being perfectly honest. Regardless, Marinette asks him on a date to the pool, with no real hesitation, no awkwardness, just a light blush. And then Chloe decides to be the worst person ever and continue to bully her publicly by planning a prank involving Kim. So off Marinette goes with Sokoline following behind because her spidey sense is tingling. Good instincts. Marinette and Kim's date goes off to a pretty good start and they seem to have a lot of fun together. She declares her feelings, Kim gives her a gift, and what do you know, there's spiders in it, and she screams, she falls into the pool, he laughs, Chloe and Sabrina laugh and they film it, and it's all very traumatic. And this is, screw that guy, are you kidding me? How can anyone think this is a good idea? Oh well, at least Sokoline destroys Chloe's phone. Guess it hadn't reached the cloud yet. And so Marinette cries and decides that the best way to avoid this kind of thing is to never fall in love. Or if she must, she has to overplan everything. Know everything about the guy. Which, I guess now explains her epic stalker tendencies towards Adrian. She doesn't want this kind of thing to happen again. Which, honestly, it feels like a weird way to explain all of that. But sure, why not? Meanwhile, the principal remains a loser, scared of the mayor for no reason, as I'm fairly certain the mayor does not have the power to fire a teacher, let alone a principal, but sure. Okay. Anyway, Sokoline gets suspended for the final weeks of school and thus misses out on all the school leaver stuff. So Chloe ends up getting the last laugh, but regardless, remembering what a bad laugh Sokoline was, allows Marinette to break free of the Akuma in the present day and avoid giving Gabe the Miraculouses. And meanwhile, Kim also gets torn a new asshole by his girlfriend and by Adrian, because truly this is a dumping level offense, surely. And my god, Adrian would have to never want to be this guy's friend again, right? I mean, he isn't even sorry. He gets annoyed and swims away, pissed off at them for daring to be mad. And not to mention, he openly says that Chloe is the prettiest and funniest girl in the world in front of what's her name. Dude, pull your head in, you absolute muppet. So yeah, he gets akumatized into dark humor, a variant on Dark Cupid, who shoots people and turns them into practical jokers. And on top of that, he gets given the power of the monkey, which I actually can't remember off the top of my head what that one does, because it's very irrelevant, but okay, I looked it up and basically it makes your powers go wonky if he hits you with the toy. Okay, so he transforms, he shoots the pool guy, who decides to drain the pool, because it's going to be really funny when people dive in head first and get paralyzed, right? Right? Meanwhile, Kim's girlfriend also gets hit and runs out into Paris into a fountain where the little kids are sailing toy boats, which she pulverizes with pool noodles. Oh, sad but also very funny. Imagine seeing that in real life. Classic. The heroes then arrive and Cat Noir goes nuts and legit claps Kim. Like, severely. And it even looked like he was trying to straight up kill him with a cataclysm, although surely he knew the Akuma was in the eyepiece and thus he could simply destroy that. Plus, once the Akuma is out, everything would get reversed anyway. Plus, we've seen that cataclysms don't even kill people straight away, so Ladybug needed to chill here. Let him do his thing, he was going to get his moment of glory. Oh, one day, Adrian. One day you can be the hero, but not today. Because after all, you now have marbles shooting out your hands. And he's also dancing merrily down the streets, making people crash their cars and fall on their ass. And then, well, he pretty much gets bamboozled by Ladybug and her big brain plans. Smooth brain Kim never had a chance. With Kim getting a toilet glued onto his head. How embarrassing. He gets deakumatized, everything's fixed, and then we finish off with a deeply unsatisfying ending where Kim gets off scot-free and everybody accepts his apologies for no real reason. Even though he clearly does not mean them, and he was forced into giving them. But hey, Marinette and Adrian at least have a very mature conversation at the end. Very mature. Aren't they like 15? I guess they're just a bit more mature than I was at that age. Oh, and at the very end, after the end screen, Adrian goes to see Chloe and tells her to piss off forever. And yeah, good, but she doesn't really seem to care about that beyond having a scowl on her face. So I wasn't exactly satisfied with that. It's like they just want you to hate her so much so that by the end they can hit her with some really severe justice at the last second. Which, yeah, I guess that'll be cathartic, but also it's been like 5 seasons, make her go away. Too little too late. And so, yeah, that's the end of the episode. A good episode. I liked it. Not great, but I liked it. I think they should do flashbacks like this more. It's fun to flesh out the characters in new ways like that. But of course, with all that being said, these are just my opinions, and now I'd like to hear yours. What do you think of the episode? You like it? Hate it? I'm curious for your thoughts, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know.